Guys, welcome to the channel. Today I received 150 Mercury 2016, and this is a 150, is it? I'm gonna check right now. Yes, it's a 150. And he just wants light service. When they say light service, it's just like oil, filter, primary, secondary filter, which is the water separator, and a little filter, inline filter in here, and obviously the lower unit oil. They bring it, they just want that quick service, they want to keep going until they make the complete 100 hours, that's fine. So we're gonna see how you can do it, pretty easy at your house. You don't need big tools, and it's a light service, quick service on Mercury 150, 4-stroke, 2016. Here we go. All right, so first thing we're doing is just empty the oil of the engine. Let's go to the right side of the motor or starboard side. Right side while you're driving, or starboard side of the motor, midsection. There is this little pipe we talked about, right? So we're gonna use a deep socket 5/8. Deep socket 5/8, put it in there and loosen it, not all the way, just make it loose. That's it, it's loose now. Leave it there, don't go too much, because then oil's gonna start coming out. You don't want that yet. Because if you do that, once you put your bucket down here, obviously you need a bucket. You put your bucket down there, oil is gonna drain and it's gonna get all over the engine and your floor. I don't want that. So I make this little tool, I call it a tool, whatever, which is a clear hose, plastic clear hose, right? End to end. Only in one end, I put a bolt in it and I put a little heat with my torch and I made it bigger, you see, than the other end. So now this is gonna go in here, no problem, right here. Okay, and the other end in the bucket. Got it? Good. So now that we have there, we're gonna use the open end wrench, because now obviously you cannot put your socket in there, you got the hose. So you got an open end, you already know that your pipe is loose, so you can start turning. See? As soon as you start turning, you'll see the oil. Let's wait a little more, no oil coming out yet. No oil coming out, no oil coming out yet. Let's keep going. There you go. I don't know if you can see it. See the oil coming out? Now oil is coming out. Give it another, 2 or 3 quarters of a turn. I would say right there to make it a little faster. Okay, I think that's good. Oh, that's plenty. Good. So oil is draining. All we gotta do now is wait until all the oil is in the bucket. Once that's done, we're gonna use, again, the open end wrench, close it, snug it, and then once it's snug, just get the 5/8 socket and tighten them up. Not too much, don't go crazy, just enough so oil is not dripping. And then that's the oil is already empty from the motor. From here, we're gonna go to the oil filter, which is up here. Let me see if I can bring the camera. Also on the right-hand side, starboard side, that's your oil filter right there, just like a regular car. Take the oil filter out, put a little grease on the O-ring, put the oil filter back on by hand. It's gotta be tightened by hand, and you're done. I always put the date on the filters, so the customer and I know when was the last time the oil was replaced, okay? So let's do that. Okay, now we're gonna remove the oil filter, also on the starboard side. You can use any one of these tools, oil remover or whatever, or the other one, the one with the handle. This one, it's more uncomfortable, but this one is pretty cool. So just put it in there like that. Now this one, it's only to loosen filters. You cannot tighten them up. Remember, it's by hand. That's why they don't make tools you can tighten them up, unless those cups that they make. So just put it in here like so. And see how you can tell that whoever put this here knew what he was doing, because the filter is pretty easy to come off. So yes, by hand, remember, by hand. So let's take this filter out. It's got a little tray. The engine brings its own little tray, like a cup thing, to hold whatever oil drips when you remove the filter. So just take it out and bring the new one, put some grease on the O-ring and put it in. And how much you're gonna tighten it? By hand. All right, let's do that. All right, we got the new filter. I already put the date on it. If you can tell, maybe with my flashlight you can see it better. See it right there, June 2022. Now we're gonna put a little grease, just a little bit to lube the seal or the O-ring or whatever you call it right here on the filter. Like so, see, around the O-ring. And then we'll put it here, very easy. Let it spin and as hard as you can by hand. That's it. No wrenches, no more force. That filter will not come off from there once you give it that torque with hand. That's enough, that's all you need. So now we'll go ahead and put some oil, new oil, that's not a big deal. There are some instructions right here on somewhere on the top cover that it tells you what's the oil capacity in the motor, so you can't miss it. And here is your dipstick to check if you're right there, depending on the oil capacity that the instructions give you up top. Now, this type of lower unit is kind of a pain in the butt because to remove or replace the gear lower unit oil, let me see if you can see it. Okay, the gear lower unit oil on this one, let me tighten this up. I think you're good right about there. No, about there. Let me see. About there, kind of. So the gear lower unit up in this one, it's only got the vent on the top, but it doesn't have the fill-in on the bottom of the torpedo like the other ones right here. In this case, you got to remove the prop. And the drain plug, it's right there behind the prop. So remove the prop. You got to remove the washer or spacer or hardware behind the prop, and then find that little 3/8 nut or plug that you remove, and then the oil drains, and you got to fill it up from the bottom to the top. When it comes from the top, put both plugs with new seals, of course, and you're good to go. Let's do that. Okay, to remove the prop, obviously you got the nut. Most of the nuts are the same size, which is 1 1/16. So any socket with your extension should work. I have, where do I have it? I have it right here. 1 1/16, any one of this. I always keep it together because I only use it for props. But before you remove the prop, there are these little metal tabs that you have. They are bent in order to hold the nut so it wouldn't turn. So what I do is I use a regular flat chisel, right? And I open them up just like that. One side, and the other side is the same right there, okay? And that's it. And now you got any piece of wood to hold your prop blade up here, lock it, and take it out, right? So once you take these out, you'll see that on the other side is the actual plug for the drain plug for the gear oil. Let's take it out and let's take the this plate. Sometimes it's a little hard, so use the leverage on your ratchet or any other thing that is like that. Put it in between. Just go like this. It comes out, and that's the nut right there. See, right? This is the prop shaft. Underneath the shaft, right there, 3/8 bolt. It's got a slot for a standard screwdriver, but there is no way you can do it by hand with a standard screwdriver unless you use a wrench on the screwdriver. But I just used I don't know if it's a 3/8 or a 10. Let me try that. I think it's a, what is this? It's a, okay, it's a 10. And number 10 right there, and you can take it off. Take the top one off, which is right here on the side, on the top right side, right here, okay? Take this one off. Once you take this two, obviously put your oil pan down here and it'll start draining, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I put my oil tray down here. Engine's gonna be in the vertical position. You can go a little negative up more if you want to, but that's usually when you're filling it up. But when the filling stage and you put a new oil in it, sometimes it's a good idea to go all the way in the transom, and I'll explain that later. Anyway, I use a long extension because I got the prop shaft right in the way, so it won't bother me. And I take this one off, okay? And it should come with a seal. This is a Mercury, so it should come with a yellow seal, okay? The bolt came, the plug came by itself, and the seal, it's stuck in there, so let's take it out. Maybe you can use this. No. Let's use a little screwdriver here, because we're gonna put a new seal. Just go in there and prime this little guy out, which is the little yellow, well, it should be, but it's got a lot of oil. Yellow seal, okay? This yellow seal, we're gonna discard it. It's already beginning to drain, but it's not draining a lot because you haven't opened the top one. So let's do the, let's open the top one, and as soon as we open the top one, air is gonna go in the transmission. See, in the top one too, we have the, come here, come here, come here, come here. We have the same little yellow seal. We're gonna discard that one too. Okay, and this plug is different, you see? It's just a regular plug. The one below is the one with the head that looks more like a bolt, you see? And it's longer. This is the one from the bottom. Got it? All right. So let me go ahead and get the two new seals and let this one drain while we clean these plugs and we put the two new seals. The seals is very simple. I already have the two new ones, okay? Very simple. Just got the bolt and just put it on top and push it down, okay? Done, one right there, okay? The other one the same, the one in the bottom, long bolt. Just put the seal on top and push it down. You can push it or you can screw it down until it gets to the bottom of the bolt right there, okay? Once it's there, out there, boom, okay? Seal is on. So now you got your seals on both of your bolts. Let's wait until this drain. In the meantime, we're gonna be doing the inline field filter on top, and after that, water separator, and we are done.